Kia's new battery electric vehicle might have Toy Town styling, but this hides some very clever thinking. It'll be a rare sight, but the Kia Soul will soon join the growing fleet of electric vehicles on UK roads. Just half a dozen dealers from Kia's network of 181 have applied to sell this first electric Kia, which will cost £25,000, including a government grant of £5,000. And each of the dealers selected will sell between 10 and 12 each according to a Kia spokesman, meaning no more than 150 in total next year. Kia's done a lot of hard thinking about this new car, which is aimed at urban dwellers and small fleets where routes are predictable and charging central. Driving the front wheels is a 110 bhp electric motor with a 27 kWh lithium-ion polymer battery pack, which gives a top speed of 90 miles per hour, a range of 124 miles and a recharge time on a UK household supply of between 10 and 13 hours. The Soul will also accept high current charges up to 100 kilowatts, which will replenish the battery in just 30 minutes with no ill effects on its longevity, according to Kia. And the car carries a 6.6 kilowatts onboard recharger, which can fully recharge in as little as 5 hours depending on local supplies. The battery pack is the result of cooperation between Kia and SK Innovation over the last 3 years. Kia has been researching EVs since 1991. The lithium-ion polymer cell means the battery pack can be shaped to suit the car, although polymer electrolyte can come at the price of larger size, lesser durability, increased cost and shorter life. Kia is claiming a class-leading energy density of 200 Wh/kg, with a simple cell structure and, as a consequence of better heat management, a longer life. Mounted under the rear floor, the 241-litre battery intrudes only slightly into the passenger space. Rear seat passengers have less leg room than they do in the regular Soul, but redesigned seat cushions mitigate this by raising the passenger's knees. It's a slightly strange seating position. The battery pack is covered by a 7-year, 93,000-mile warranty, but engineers have been working to a target life of 15 years and 155,000 miles. Kia has also applied advanced thinking to the heating, ventilation and air conditioning, which its engineers estimate can potentially impact the range by up to 50%. For example, they've made it possible to heat or cool only the occupied seats by splitting the interior into 3 areas: driver, front seat passenger, and rear seats. There's a driver-only button on the dash which reduces the heating, cooling to solely the driver. Can you see what they did there? All of this contributes to a potential cruising range improvement of between 4% when cooling and 9% when heating, according to Kia, but the Soul EV systems are even cleverer than that. Using the principle of the heat pump, the Soul recoups hot and cold coolant from the air conditioning and battery cooling to either heat and cool the car's occupants. That potentially reduces the energy requirement by between 27 and 32%. To help, the battery has separate cooling and heating plates between each of the 192 cells, which gives more accurate temperature control and more efficient heat scavenging. In addition, the Soul EV has more efficient control over air entering and leaving the interior. In the manner of smart buildings, it adds only a proportion of fresh air to the interior, which reduces the energy load as long as you don't open the windows. Now, we're not the biggest fans of the latest Soul. It's aimed mainly at America and its fussy looks are derived from the 2012 Trackster concept. By comparison, the EV model, with its filled-in vents and single color, appears almost conservative. The interior is an adaptation of the existing Souls, with excellent and clear electronic instruments for the battery usage, range and available charge. It feels well made and of high quality, with a large central screen and sat-nav system which gives information on available range and nearby charging stations. The seats are reasonably comfortable, too, and there's plenty of storage space around the driver. We drove the car on a short route along the coast of Jeju Island, a holiday resort off the southern coast of South Korea. Like all electric cars, The uncanny sense of silent peregrination dominates the drive, and there's also that max torque at 0 revs characteristic of electric drive, which makes the Solar feels like the king of the hill in the traffic light Grand Prix. The performance falls off at about 50 miles per hour as the questionable aerodynamics and rapidly diminishing motor torque take their toll. There are two main driving modes, brakes and drive, with the former maximizing the battery recharging effect on deceleration, which means the Solar will slow rapidly if you lift off the accelerator pedal in this mode. You can also select from 3 different rates of regeneration in the Eco mode. Drive is the more instinctive setting, where the car will roll seemingly forever and a touch of the brake pedal brings in the regenerative braking by stages, but the pedal isn't quite progressive enough to allow you to do this smoothly. The Solar also clatters to a halt at very low speeds, because the engineers have tried to maximize energy recuperation and only allow the friction disc brakes to stop the car at the last moment. It's an issue with electric rivals such as Renault Zoe, but less so with the Nissan Leaf and BMW i3. With body strengthening around the battery, a 54 kg motor, 25 kg step-down gearing, power electronics, inverter and a 277 kg battery, the Solar's driveline weighs about 370 kg as opposed to the Sol Diesel's driveline weight of 255 kg. This means the standard diesel Sol's already porky curb weight goes up to almost 1.6 tons, and that affects every aspect of the dynamics. Fortunately, the 205/60/16" hollow rolling resistance tires have some give in the sidewall, but the Solar still shivers and shakes on anything but billiard tables. That extra weight is low in the frame, so the body doesn't roll like a ship in a storm in corners, but the tires report loudly off the mildest pothole. Also, the electrically assisted steering feels light and weightless, and there's a strange reluctance to turn from the straight ahead, but it's precise enough once you have eased the nose of the car into the corner. Kia is being straightforward about the appeal of electric vehicles, admitting they are mainly for those in urban areas and are really only suitable for small cars. Small hatchbacks like the Solar Heartland, then, with the Solar better looking, more enjoyable to drive and cheaper to run than the standard car. And according to Kia, its lifetime contribution to global warming is about 40% less than that of its diesel counterpart. That's dependent on driving it a lot, however, and recharging with a UK household supply. The Solar will require hooking up to the mains for 1 year and 6 weeks of its 93,000 mile allotted lifespan. More of an issue, though, is the fact that the Solar costs about as much as BMW's classy i3. If I was in the market for an electric car, I know which one I'd rather have. The facts. Kia Solar. Tested, 27 kWh lithium-ion polymer battery driving an AC electric motor, front-wheel drive. Price, on sale, £25,000, with £5,000 government grant/November. Power/torque, 110 bhp/210 pounds-feet. Top speed, 90 miles per hour. Acceleration, 0 to 62 miles per hour in 12.0 seconds. Range, 124 miles. Recharging time, approximately 10-13 hours from a UK domestic power supply. CO2 emissions, 0 grams/km. Band, A, 0 pounds. Verdict, the Solar defies its porky curb weight to deliver a highly respectable range and good performance, but think what could have been done if it had also been put on a diet. Telegraph verdict, 3 out of 5 stars. Rivals. Renault Zoe, £13,650, including £4,333 government grant, plus £70 a month battery lease. Good range, 130 miles, and a mains recharge time of 9 hours from this nicely finished and well-executed electric vehicle. Based on the Clio, it drives well, but that leased battery puts off some. Nissan Leaf, £23,490 with battery, including £5,000 government grant. Range is about 100 miles and a mains recharge takes about 11 hours. Hubris follows it like Banquo's Ghost, yet it is a very creditable purpose-built electric car. It just didn't sell as well as expected. Blame over optimistic management, not the car. Good to drive, well engineered and some spectacular deals available. BMW i3, £25,680 with battery, including £5,000 government grant. With a 100-mile range and mains recharge time of 9 hours, development costs of this carbon fiber/aluminium electric vehicle will be offset by the super credits that BMW gets against EU fines for breaking co-squared laws. Looks weird, drives well and suggests electric future could be fun as well as good for the environment.